You know how hybrid cars tend to look weird?
Well, we've turned a corner. This is the Honda Insight, and it's a hybrid, but you wouldn't know that by looking at it.
Aside from some badging, the latest Insight looks like a normal sedan. Actually, scratch that. It's more attractive than a normal sedan. Almost like elements from the handsomely styled Accord have been expertly grafted onto a Honda Civic.
Well, that's not far from the truth. The Insight springs forth from Honda's excellent Civic platform, though it has a distinct character all its own.
Aside from the 10th generation Civic's roof and rear quarter panels, the Insight's exterior is unique. Standard LED headlights impart a premium aura, but the Insight's semi-elevated stature really hits home inside. With added hood, dash, and fender insulation, along with standard active noise cancellation, the Insight's cabin is notably quieter than the Civic.
It also looks fancier. Note the stitching and the perforated leather. That's class, baby.
Heated, power-adjustable leather seats are reserved for the priciest touring trim, but even the cheapest LX trim features stitching, plenty of soft materials, and this helpful multi-function 7-inch screen in the gauge cluster. Like the Civic from which it spawned, the Insight is a monument to practicality. Passenger space is great, yes, even in back. The center console is large and easily reconfigured, sight lines out of the vehicle are nearly unimpeded, and there's a handy USB-adjacent phone tray that's big enough to hold an iPhone 8 Plus.
FYI, despite how it looks, wireless phone charging is not available. It's not a big deal since wireless CarPlay isn't ubiquitous yet. At some point it will be, and then I'll complain about it. Actually, no, I'm one of those moody guys who's going to complain about it now.
To soothe the pain of having to connect a cable every once in a while, consider the Insight's outstanding efficiency. With the LX and EX trims, you're looking at 55 city and 49 highway. Knock 4 mpg off both of those figures if you choose the swankier touring trim. Evidently, class adds weight and drag. The Insight's efficiency comes via a 1.5-liter Atkinson Cycle 4-cylinder engine, a lithium-ion battery pack, and Honda's 2-motor hybrid drive system. With gasoline and electric bits smoothly merging their outputs, power is respectable among hybrids, especially that torque figure.
Put to good use on the mean streets of rural Minnesota, the Insight accelerates authoritatively for a 50 mpg plus hybrid. It won't set your heart ablaze, but if you wanted to merge with traffic or overtake traffic, you could do that. Somewhere with traffic.
If you really stand on it, you'll be treated to CVT-style engine drone, but that's the price you pay for efficiency. Like its Honda Clarity hybrid kin, the Insight offers multiple drive modes that vary the throttle pedal's urgency. Sport is sharply responsive, Econ is mellow, and Normal is, normal. There's also an EV mode that, under the right circumstances, lets you cover up to a mile using only electricity. Returning from a night of partying but don't want to wake your parents? Try EV mode.
One of the Insight's greatest tricks are its regenerative brakes. They feel like normal brakes. There's no hybrid woodenness, and gliding to an imperceptible stop is not only possible, but likely. It's so nice when I can cross something off my complaint list.
Which reminds me, there's no adjustable lumbar support in the Honda Insight.
Lumbar!
One last braking note, the driver can adjust regenerative braking intensity with paddles on the steering wheel. Left paddle for more intense braking, right paddle for less. It's a helpful feature that keeps you from having to ride the brakes down long hills. Honda has also done an admirable job tuning the suspension.
Road impacts are absorbed with smooth sophistication. Coupled with a quiet cabin and nicely weighted steering, the Honda Insight is a supremely comfortable long-haul commuter. But can it be driven stupidly? Apparently, stupid mode is available.
On a more pragmatic note, cargo space is a generous 15.1 cubic feet, and thanks to the hybrid battery's placement under the rear seats, the seatbacks fold like a normal sedan's. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are included on EX and Touring trims, as is this smartly arranged volume knob-equipped 8-inch touchscreen. Meanwhile, for a little less than $23,000, the LX slums it with a still usable 5-inch display. I don't know, slums it's probably overstating it, but for our money, the EX is worth its modest premium. For a mere $1,200 or so, the EX adds remote engine start, Honda's Lane Watch blind spot camera, smart entry with walkaway auto lock, 60/40 split rear seatbacks, a center rear armrest, an external trunk release, and you know what? Just spend the extra $1,200. On the safety front, automatic high beams, traffic sign recognition, and a multi-angle backup camera are standard on all trims, as is Honda Sensing. So even the cheapest Honda Insight provides dynamic cruise control, lane keeping assist, and forward collision warning with automatic braking.
As noted elsewhere, Honda Sensing works wonderfully. Lane keeping assist, in particular, keeps the Insight squarely in its lane without any of the jittery steering action we've seen in similar systems.
Obvious Honda Insight competitors include the similarly efficient but slightly pricier Toyota Prius and the less expensive but also less fancy Hyundai Ioniq. Both cars are traditional answers to the hybrid question, leading back to the core problem with hybrids: they come with baggage. Many car buyers still think of hybrids as slow, strange-looking, self-congratulatory ecomobiles. Then there's the Honda Insight. It's a prime example why we should focus on results, not labels.
Okay, it is literally labeled hybrid, but you've got to look close. With the Insight, there's no pretense, no posing. It's just a handsome, enjoyable, practical sedan that also tops 50 mpg. Whether through magic or hybrid engineering, that's a remarkable result.